this is Russell Holt, and you're watching What the Hill Now.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is the AWA inside this really pretty comfortable office, and the office of my special guest right here, Russell Holt, has been in skeleton crew so far this semester in UNCG, and it's not just an ordinary theater kid. Very much has amazing experience. So my man, thank you for taking your time to be on the show.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. Do you want to close the door? Or is
Oh,
that
yeah, my bad.
cool?
Yeah, of course.
Get a little more space. But
Yep.
yeah, I'm good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you asking me to be on the show. And yeah.
So, for those who don't, of course, don't know you, please introduce yourself.
Yes. So like Elijah said, I'm Russell Holt. I am from Lackawanna, New York. I am a first-year MFA student here at UNCG. Just finished up skeleton crew, and haven't been acting too long. I started acting about 5 years ago, I'd say. And just found my way. I had undergrad, graduated in 2014 from University of Buffalo. Had some life experience, and then I decided to come to grad school and get better at acting in my craft. So here I am now, and we're working on that as we speak.
So, what was your background like before you fell in love with theater?
So prior to me fully investing myself in acting, I played sports, basketball, football, a little track. So that was the goal. As a kid, I always wanted to be an actor, but I never really pursued it and never really thought that it was something that I can do, because not many people did that where I was coming from. So, and I happened to be pretty decent in sports, so I figured I'd give that a try and go from there. So I started focusing more on basketball and football and stuff like that. So that's what I was doing prior, and then once I got into the undergrad, after switching majors and transferring and stuff like that, I majored in media studies, video production. So I figured I minored in acting to try to play it safe, and so I just figured I'd do behind the scenes, because if I could just get a job doing that. But then once I graduated, that's when I figured. I always wanted to act, so I figured I'd just put all my eggs in that basket instead of just dilly-dallying with it's like being on the fence about it. So that's when I really started pursuing acting. It was after college, but basketball. But I was a big sports, basketball, football. That was my journey and my background before I did acting.
So, how are you able to use that seesaw in your mind to balance acting and sports?
I think in general, acting in sports or just life in general, I feel like, acting in sports, I feel like have some similarities just in terms of discipline and just continuing to work on your goal, like your craft and your skill set to get better, and just have that competitiveness, but it's just in a different way. As far as acting, you're not necessarily competing against others, you're competing with yourself to try to make yourself better. And for me, I just balance it in the terms of just trying to take that discipline and trying to get better and work towards things that I need to work on. So it's a little bit more internal, and some of it is external. Well, mainly it's external too when you're working with someone else, because you want to work off the other person and you want to get something from them. So in a sense, they kind of go hand in hand, because even in sports, you're playing off somebody. So no matter how you prepare, there's always going to be curveballs thrown at you and stuff like that. So you always have to adapt at all times. So I would say adaptability, just competitiveness, discipline, and all that good stuff. I'd say I take it from sports. So
How are you able to deflect criticism if you got some goods.
I don't know if I would deflect criticism. I mean, it depends on what the type of criticism is. If it's criticism that is trying to help me and better me, so I might not like it at the time, but I might also probably already agree with what is being said, and I'm probably a bigger critic than anyone who's gonna criticize me to begin with. So, you know, if it's good criticism and if it's something I can use and to help me get better, then I'll take it into consideration. But if it's something that's just that people are just being negative and rude about, you know, I'm just not gonna pay attention to that. You know, I'll try to, you know, up until this point, I haven't had too much bad criticism to the point where it's like not constructive and not allowing me to get better. So I don't really have anything to compare it to as far as like really nasty people just being mean and rude, but criticism in general, like if it's constructive and if it's trying to help me to get better, then I take it for what it is and, you know, try to apply it to get better the next time I do my performances and stuff.
As I said, we already finished the Skeleton Crew, which was your first college play, first play here in UNCG. What was that like?
Yeah, so yeah, it was my first college play. It was my first play at UNCG. It was a good experience, a challenging experience. It was nice to be able to be in a all black cast and have a black director and stuff like that, and then just working with, you know, the stage crew and the technical designers and stuff like that. Just getting all aspects and seeing, you know, something as close to professional as I can get to as at this point. It was pretty interesting and it was rewarding, and I've definitely learned a lot. And you know, there were some challenges and stuff like that, but it was something that ultimately, for the most part, worked itself out. And yeah, it was definitely a good start to the semester, good start to this year in grad school, and I'm definitely looking forward to what it leads to moving forward, and continuing to work and grow and continue to learn.
So, what made you want to go to UNCG and live in New York?
So UNCG, I went to the URDAs. They happened to be there. I had no idea about UNCG. I had no knowledge of them prior. I actually wanted to go to a different school, but I didn't get accepted there in UNCG. And then I actually met Jim Wren in the URDAs, and we had a nice little conversation because we had a mutual. Because he knew my teacher that helped me with my monologues and stuff like that. So we were talking about that. So we had a nice bond from the beginning. So he was real cool. And I got an offer from here. And it's funny because a director from Buffalo that was supposed to direct me in a show prior to like the quarantine and everything that happened, she had said that UNCG had a good program, and this was prior to me even going to the URDAs or even hearing anything about, you know, UNCG. Like I knew they were gonna be there, and when she said that, I was like, oh, okay, because I had mentioned the school that I wanted to go to, and she was like, well, UNCG, they have a good program. I was like, oh, well, they'll actually be at the URDAs, and she actually unfortunately passed away, so I wasn't even able to get to work with her, but I think that stuck with me too, and it just was like a divine intervention that I needed to be here. And so far, it's been looking like a good decision. So
Can I follow up on this one?
Yep.
So everything you do, you always do it in dedication to her?
Not necessarily. I mean, because I didn't know her that well. I just started to get to know her, but it was unfortunate because I didn't get to tell her that I got into the school because I didn't know she was sick. And then once I found out she passed away, it was like kind of heartbreaking and unfortunate. So I mean, it's somewhat, I like to, want to pay homage and honor her, the best way I can, and just and just be the best version I can be of myself, and just make everyone back home proud, and just do it for everyone. But yeah, that definitely sticks out to that definitely was a big part of why I did choose UNCG, was her saying that, and then me not being able to tell her and all that stuff. So yeah.
So who inspired you to keep doing what you're doing?
I'd say a lot of people, my family, friends, myself sometimes when I feel good. But also like my mentor, my teacher, Stephen McKinley Henderson, who helped me do the monologues and stuff like that. He was teaching me, and he just gave me that reassurance and saying that he saw something in me, and that meant a lot coming from him, because he's a professional working actor, and he's been in a lot of good productions, and he's continuing to work, and he's known as like a highly regarded actor. So to have him say that, having him being at the level he's at, teaching multiple actors, seeing, working with so many great actors and stuff like that, for him to say that he wouldn't be wasting his time with me if he didn't think I had something, was very reassuring. And saying that even if I was paying him, he still would, so that means a lot. And he didn't have to say it, because it's not like I was asking it, he brought it up. So I think I definitely think that was something genuine, because it wasn't something that I brought up to him, where he was just, trying to be nice and say, it was something that he brought up. And I really appreciate that. So, and then, just getting feedback from other people, just in general. But, it's nice for everyone else to believe and have thoughts about your, skill level and stuff like that. But the ultimate thing is, if I don't believe it, then it doesn't really matter. So, just having that confidence and believing, and, just having the feeling to do it, and just continuing to know that even the best actors are continuing to learn, is always something to strive for, and know that there's going to be bad times, but just keep pushing through. And that's what I've been trying to do, and of course there's times where it's struggling compared to other times, but just having that belief, knowing that the best actors are still learning, and knowing that other people think that you're good, and you and me believing that I am as well, really help and push forward. So, and it definitely helps to have a lot of support from like your family and friends, so that helps as well. So all that just put all that together.
I mean, yeah, as we all know, one of the most underrated black actor, Chadwick Boseman, passed away, and of course it hit a struggle between us actors. And according to that history, you also acted in what is it called?
Marshall?
Yeah, Marshall.
I was a background actor in it, so I didn't have any lines or anything, because they filmed in Buffalo, so I was just in the background. But I am in the background a lot, so if you watch that movie, you can see me a lot chilling in all the court scenes. So yeah, so they should have just boosted me to a featured extra at that point, but that's another story. But yeah, so I did, and it's crazy about Chadwick, that he was going through all that stuff during that filming, and I got to meet him briefly when he was filming, and he was really cool, really calm and chill. He was about his business, but it's not like he was better than he interacted with people. He was real chill, and really modest and humble and stuff like that. So it was nice to see someone who was on that level, just act normal like a regular person, not act like he was better than someone. And then to really see it, you really to know what he was going through after the fact during that time, it was definitely a testament to his dedication and his work ethic and stuff like that, and his dedication and stuff to the craft and his seriousness about the business and stuff like that. So, and it's definitely an inspiration for actors and black actors in particular to, you know, try to follow in those footsteps and try to take the torch and carry on with, you know, the legacy that he started. So, yeah.
What other actors are your role models?
I would say obviously Stephen McKinley Henderson who helped me out. But I'm a big fan of, you know, Denzel, Will Smith, you know, Sidney Poitier, who you know, paved the way from a lot of these black actors now. But yeah, I have Sterling K. Brown, Mahershala Ali. You know, there's like so many that I look up to and really enjoy their work and just their dedication and their seriousness and drive and just their hustle and their grind to the craft and stuff like that. And there's a ton of them that are pretty awesome. That yeah, it's a lot of them. But those are like the main ones that like pretty much, if they're in something, you know, it's a must-see type deal, you know.
So once you're all finished with UNCG, what's your next plan?
Well, the plan, hopefully, once this, you know, as long as this pandemic is done, the plan is to hopefully get an agent or some type of representation and just go out and work. Get into film, TV, theater, and just, you know, hit the ground running. Hopefully we can make some stuff prior to us to us leaving here, so we can have, you know, just more content and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the goal, is just to, you know, try to be the next overnight success that took, you know, 10 years or whatever they call it, the 10-year overnight success. So that's the goal, and just, you know, just continue to get better and, you know, and continue to, you know, make a career of this and make a living doing it. So, and enjoy doing it, loving doing it. And yeah.
And the last thing before we close the show, who do you really want to collaborate in the future?
It's a loaded question. Well, I have a lot of people I would like to collaborate with. I would love to get on one of those August Wilson plays with Denzel producing. That would be dope. I want to be in the MCU. So I'm trying to, that's another thing. Be a superhero for the cinematic universe. But yeah, there's like a bunch of directors and stuff I would love to work with, like Spike Lee, obviously, Issa Rae, Ava DuVernay. There's a ton. Chris Chalk, who's a UNCG alum. You know, it'd be dope to work on something with Stephen Henderson, like in a film. That'd be pretty dope. And just yeah, I would, you know, Steven Spielberg. You know, there's just a ton of people like I would love to work with. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
Wow. Definitely wish you luck, brother. Absolutely.
Yes, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you again for taking your time in this. Do you have any inspirational quotes, any advice? Who wants to take on your steps?
Yeah, just keep pushing forward. Don't give up. Don't ever give up, and fall in love with the process and trust the process. And the rest will take care of itself.
Right. The process got to be shut down. So,
Yeah.
yeah, man, thank you again.
No
Taking
problem.
your time, always nice.
No problem.